Hey guys, welcome to a special edition of Amazon Hangout Live. Of course, this is not live, this is pre recorded. Um, Mike Collins, who we just did a special Tuesday night interview with, he he's the brains behind the success. I attribute the success to Dave and Sarah Gilman. If you remember Gil Daddy and Gil Mama, I interviewed them several months back, and they had just got in to private label, not too much sooner than when I interviewed them. They just really got some traction. And their quick story is they were eBay sellers. They had a YouTube channel. They were teaching people how to go out and retail arbitrage and how to pick. And and then they got a lot of people started watching their channel. I think they got like 10,000 people. I don't know how many people they got over there. A lot of people watching. There's a lot more people that do retail arbitrage than private label on Amazon. But what happened is they started getting harangued by their viewers saying, "Why aren't you guys on Amazon? You're selling something for $50 on eBay. It'll sell for 100 on Amazon." And GilDaddy's response was like, "Well, why do I want to ship something to Amazon who's going to turn around and ship it out and then charge me extra money for that?" But the difference is that you've got maybe 200 million credit cards on file with Amazon for buyers who are ready to buy, and the Prime Amazon Prime is exploding. I just read an article about the loyalty of Prime members, and they spend about twice as much, or maybe over twice as much, per year than a non-Prime member. And the longer they're with Amazon Prime, the more they spend. Uh, I can totally vouch for that personally, and it just makes sense. You have more buyers. You got people willing to spend money, and people willing to spend more money, and people are not so hung up on getting the cheapest price. And because they're buying new, they're not trying to find can I save a dime over here mentality. And there's some of that, but you go find yourself a private label product and put it up, and you do the correct marketing, and you know how to do the images, and a lot of the tricks of the trade that you may not learn out there in the real world. It may take you a couple years to learn it, even if you do learn it, and you can make a fortune with one or two or three products, comparatively, a fortune compared to like working a job just over broke, and too much month at the end of the money. And so anyway, they were selling on Amazon, GilDaddy and GilMama, for about 4 or 5 months, and they said they'd heard about private label and knew about it. So they started checking into it and decided, yeah, maybe we should do that. So they hadn't been on Amazon very long before they zeroed in on private label, and it just so happened that they wound up becoming a member of Mike Collins' very first class, where he taught some people. Mike Collins sells millions, and he does millions per month, or at least a million per month. Don't really have a hard number on that. And I interviewed Dave and Sarah, and about 10 minutes into the interview, somewhere around the 8-minute mark, I think, I said, "Well, how did you guys get your start?" And they just told me what they did. Yeah, we were in it for 4 or 5 months, learned about private label, and then we got lucky. We're at the right place at the right time, and we took this guy's course. They didn't name the person, and it was, and the guy didn't disappoint. He was doing millions in sales, and he was even doing more than I thought he was doing when I first started working with him. And I interrupted him. I said, "Wait a minute, millions per month?" He goes, "Yeah, millions on Amazon private label. He sells per month." And I said, "And he's willing to teach people?" And his wife, Sarah, jumped in and said, "Yeah, yeah. We got lucky and we took his very first course, but back then it was cheap, and it was like $600." And she said, "But, now it's a lot more expensive." And they quickly raised it from 600 to 5,000. Does that sound familiar? ASM is 499.7. There's a couple other courses out there for around $5,000, and there's several courses that are way over 1,000. And so But they sold out because he delivered the goods. I mean, the guy sells millions. So you think you might learn something. And this is private label. The guy's got so many private label products, it's not even funny. And he's been around for a while. He's been on internet marketing for years and years. He was a copywriter and ad guy for like 30 years. So surely he learned something about copywriting, which has an impact when you make up your listing. And that is a huge advantage, to be able to have somebody that understands the psychology of sales and influence and copywriting. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the course. I'm going to at least show you an inside preview. I'm going to go behind the scenes, actually show you screenshots of his course, so you can get an idea of what it's like. But when I heard when they told me that, yeah, they took this course, I beat it out of them. Who was it? And the name of the course was Sambrella, or that was the name of their company, Sambrella. It was kind of a weird name. I went over there and found out, yeah, it's $5,000. Well, I'm not doing that probably. I mean, but I thought about it. I even after that interview, I actually said, you know what? I've heard about this guy before, this course before, but I heard it from somebody else. And I think I heard it from Tracy Smith, because Tracy Smith is somebody I interviewed, if you guys remember. She's a big time retail arbitrager, just getting into private label. She was friends with Dave and Sarah Gilman. They went to dinner down in Florida when Dave and Sarah were at a live event for this training program they were in. And Tracy Smith just happened to be in the area and went to dinner with the Gilmans and a bunch of other people that were in the course. And she wasn't part of it, so she didn't stay for the course. They were having a live event, but she was listening to all these people talk about what they were doing in private label, and it blew her mind. And that's when she got the bug to think about doing private label. And that's how I got in contact with Dave and Sarah. She says, you ought to interview these two people. They're doing great in private label. And that's how that led me to. So that was back then. That's when I found out about the course. She told me about the course. I started looking at it, but it was $5,000. Well, then the plot thickens. Um, Dave, Mike Collins, who taught Dave and Sarah, his two partners, after they raised it to 5,000 and they went, I don't know, a year like that, they decided that, you know what, we're going to raise it to 10,000. And you know what? There's people that will pay 10,000 to take their course because they sell millions. But you know who it's not me and you. It's not the newbie that's just getting started. It's trying to feel their way around, try to figure out what the heck is this FBA thing, and then what the heck is private label. I don't understand that, and what's the difference in that and white label and all the other stuff that goes with it. That's not a course you're going to spend. You're not going to spend 10 grand. You know who spends 10 grand? Somebody that's already selling hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, and they want to up their game, and they can afford 10,000. So they want to go to somebody that's bigger than them and pick their brain. Well, Mike didn't like that. He actually had a falling out with his partners and said, look, I don't think that's not the direction I want to go in. I wanted to develop, a network of people and not only teach them, but also get as much as I give. If we get a bunch of excited people that are learning, they're gonna develop techniques and strategies and ideas, and they're gonna have information that we can benefit from, all of us together as a synergy in that networking environment. And that's not where the direction of that company was going. So Mike pulled out, and that's what Sarah told me after that interview. We were off air, and I said, you know what, I think I'm just going to go ahead and scrape up the 5,000. I've heard about this course, and I didn't connect the dots at first, but it was through Tracy, and I saw it, but I didn't know much about it. But now that I found out you guys are in it, and that's where you got a lot of your success, and you attribute that to your success to that, I think I'm just going ahead and bite the bullet and scrape up the 5 grand and join. And she said, no, don't do that. And I said, well, why not? She goes, well, there might be something happening not too long in the future. I said, like what? Well, I don't know if I said, come on, you got to tell me. And she said, well, look, Mike Collins, one of the guys of that course, he's leaving, and he's relaunching, and he's reducing his price, not from 10, not to 5, but down to $6.95. I said, I'm in. Please save me a seat. Let me know. Keep me informed. I want in. And I don't know how many they're going to take. I did talk to Mike after our interview Tuesday night, and I said, well, how many are you shooting for? Because he said, you know, it's open till Sunday night. This is, I'm recording this at 10:44 p.m. Central Standard Time on October 22nd. And it is open until, this is Thursday, and it's open until Sunday night, the 25th at midnight, 11:59. It shuts down. And he said, you know, I'm going to take his, you know, anybody that wants to join between now and then, but yeah, if it gets much more than 300, I'm going to start, you know, like all of a sudden it went viral and a bunch of people found out about it and they started buying. He said, I'll cut it off tomorrow. I don't want too many people. He wants to have a manageable amount of people that he can communicate with and be able to service or serve as a mentor in that role. And he just thinks 300 is probably about the size that makes sense and the synergy that comes from Facebook groups and live events and whatnot. So you got until Sunday night if you're watching this. And if you're watching this after Sunday, I don't know what to tell you. You missed out like I did when they found out. You know, they got lucky and were at the right place at the right time. And by the time I interviewed Dave and Sarah, they had like 10 or 11 private label products from, you know, going from scratch, you know, and it's in maybe 3 or 4 months. So I'm in and I purchased, and then I knew that this is what I could get behind. So you guys know that on Thursday nights, there's no cost, there's no selling. Yeah, if I interview somebody and they have a service or a product or whatever that's related to Amazon, I'm gonna let them talk about it. But I'm not like, hey, sign up and I'm gonna get a commission. I don't do that. I've done it 2 times, and the first time it was early on, and most of you probably weren't around when I did it, but I joined AmaSuite 4.0 on a relaunch, and they had out of about 4 different products that's part of that suite. The one product that I really used was the top 100 analyzer, which took about 10 hours of manual labor that I was doing, going in researching products and looking at products and finding ASIN numbers and trying to figure out what it's ranked at, trying to take that information and put it over here in a spreadsheet. Well, heck, top 100 analyzer did it in about an hour or less. So it saved me, you know, it's like a 10x on my time that I saved. I was totally buzzed about that. I'd been using it for about 3 months, and then he came out with a new version of it and updated it. I think that was the 4.0 version. And so I thought, well, heck, I believe in it. I use it. I'm already using it. I think I will offer it to the folks that have been coming to my webinars, and I sent it out and a bunch of people joined, and I don't think anybody's regretted using it. And then Jungle Scout came out, and when it first came out, it wasn't killing it. It did have some, it hadn't been around long enough to really establish enough data points to be accurate. And so early on, I didn't really pay much attention to it. I remember when Greg Mercer launched it. And then later on, I heard that it improved, and then I had him on in an interview, and then we mentioned it, and then people started asking questions like crazy. And I said, look, guys, why don't we save all that? Let's just do a different interview on a different night, and let's do a live demo of Jungle Scout. And you can just show us how it works, Greg. And I had the software. I had the software for a while. I just hadn't, and I like it. I've got it right now. It's a great product. It doesn't do the same thing that Top 100 does. The big thing Jungle Scout does is at least you can, when you're looking at a product, you can click that icon. It's a Chrome plugin, and it spits out all of the products that are in, that on that page, or if you're on a particular product, it puts all the competitor products on that page, and it actually estimates the sales per month. So if you want to say, well, I want to sell belt buckles, that belt buckle looks cool, I'm going to click on Jungle Scout, and it tells me if they're selling $3,000 worth of belt buckles a month or 200. It tells you real quick whether there's enough volume to be able to get in there and compete. If there's not very much volume at all, why do you want to go in and mess around with a product that, the number one seller is only selling $600 worth a month? That's just not enough to fool with. So it's a great product for that. So we did an affiliate arrangement with Greg, and and I could get behind that because I believe in the product and I use it. I've joined Mike's course, and I believe in that because I believe in Dave and Sarah and Tracy Smith and what they told me. They're authentic people, and I couldn't wait to get in. So I've been in, and so we launched this Tuesday night, and we've got about, I don't know, 40 people who've joined through the webinar that I did, and maybe some people have picked it up on YouTube. I don't know. But one of the things I did do, and I'm going to go through and show you, but there is a bonus for coming into Mike's course through our group. If you use my affiliate link, I do get compensated from Mike to do that. But I believe in it. I don't apologize for earning money, for telling you, for educating you guys about something that's going to save you hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of pain and you know, bumping your head and experience and paying the stupid tax and all that kind of stuff. Why not just borrow it straight from the guy that's already doing it, that says, hey, look, do it this way. Here's a way to think. And really, I did learn that from Mike. He even said this on our interview the other night. He said, if you follow what I say to do exactly the way I tell you to do it, you're going to fail. And that's not the purpose. You're not trying to copy what I did. What I'm trying to show you is how to think and how to evaluate and critically think about your business. So it's a thinking process, so you can use his ideas and strategies and concepts around what you're interested in and your experience and your background, and then you can figure out how to take a product and make it sing by applying the stuff he does. So that was a long introduction to get to this point, but I think it's necessary. I don't know if I did a good enough job Tuesday night, but now that I know that we got about 40 people that are coming on board with me, we're going to get a super bonus. Now, I think it's a super bonus, but let me go in and actually show you. I'm going to share my screen with you and go into I think it's this one right here. Share, present to everyone. Okay. And I'm going to try to blow that up. You can see it. Okay. Okay, so I've logged in to the dashboard. And so you can see my ugly mug right there. And it says, the future is yours, and the future starts now. And right above it, it says check labs for test updates and twice monthly webinars. So this is a course that has videos, but Mike also conducts 2 times a month. He does a live Q&A webinar. So you join this course, you get all the videos, and most courses out there have modules for videos. And you notice there's 3 phases. Phase 1, build your Amazon business. Phase 2, expand and automate. Phase 3, the empire. And then there's co-ops, and then there's beyond labs. Co-ops is we're able to provide services below the cost it would be for you to do various things on your own by crowdsourcing services within our group. So that networking idea, somebody, they put their heads together and say, hey, this freight forwarding service is the bee's knees. They've got the best rates and they've got great service and they do some things that other companies don't do, whatever it might be. These are some of the things we do every day in our business that create bigger and more profitable opportunities for everyone. So it may be that, it may be inspection services, it may be image creating services, it could be copywriting services, it could be packaging and graphics and that kind of thing. So imagine if we have some people that are hanging out with a multi-millionaire seller and people like Dave and Sarah Gilman in there and other people that are successful, become more successful. We're all going to learn and we're all going to leverage off of each other. Beyond Labs, constantly updated test results to show it works today and not last year. And that's one thing that Mike said. That's another thing that he was frustrated with, is that the course that he had over there, is kind of stale. He says, you know, you could go take that course right now for 5,000 or 10,000 and you'll be okay, but it's really based on a lot of things that have actually, you know, times change. Mike wants to keep on the cutting edge and update the course whenever something changes. And that's why there's a news and update section. When news or updates are needed, we are here to keep you informed. Check out what's hot today. So if Amazon comes out with a new policy or change your TOS or comes out with a new country or some new service that could benefit, Mike's going to be all over it, and they're going to update us and keep us posted. Like, hey, here's something you got to change right away. You know, hey, they're going to raise their long-term storage fee, so here's how you get out of it, and here's how you mitigate that. Those kind of things are through news and updates. Beyond Labs, what's interesting, Mike says he has a couple of different test accounts that are not part of his regular account. All they do is test. They test crap. They test out. And here's an example of something that you might it might be worth the $6.95 alone. He says that even though you can have 9 images on your listing, they have found that 5 is the optimum number. That if you have 4, sales drop off, and if you have 6 or more, sales drop off. 5, you're at the top. You're at the top of the bell curve, and you get the best results with 5 images. He also said your second image needs to be something somewhat obscure that's hard to because the first image needs to be your main product, but your second image needs to be something weird or obscure so that when a person looks at it, they're like, what in the crap is that? And they click on it, and that helps you get the buyer engaged in your listing. And hey, who would have thought of that? Maybe ASM has thought about that. I don't think they do. I don't think that they have. They may have other great ideas, but I'm telling you that right there is worth $6.95 to me to know that, because if I can apply that and use 5 images instead of 9 images, and I asked him, I said, how do you know that, man? I mean, how would you get statistical data? He goes, because I have testing accounts. I said, test accounts? He goes, yeah, I got a couple of test accounts. That's all we do is test stuff. We test A/B tests, and we change variables, and we track it. I mean, this guy's serious. He's got a lot of employees. He's got partners in he's got lots of joint ventures that he's done with other sellers and whatnot. So the guy is not a monolithic one-man gang. He's out there. So here is the course. Let's click on phase 1, build your Amazon business. And especially, it says everything you need to know to build the foundation for a solid Amazon business. Module is designed to get you positioned properly with a lucrative and scalable online business. From here, the sky's the limit. We'll take you onward and upwards in module 2. You could probably pay $6.95 and get this right here and get your business going, especially you newbies that hadn't got started yet. And that's all you'd ever need. You don't really need these other 2, okay? But eventually, if this works, you're going to lead to this and eventually that. So let's go into phase 1. Phase 1, build your business. Before you sell, getting set up properly before you start selling on Amazon, increase your productivity and decrease your expenses. So these are 5 different modules inside of phase 1. And if you click on that before you sell, there's 4 videos: choosing a company name, create an LLC, Amazon terminology, success lives on the other side of fear. So a little motivation maybe. Let's go back, and then whoops, that's before you sell. So then we go to product sourcing. Isn't this what everybody wants? This is the little present that you want to open up and find out, because this is where everybody gets hung up, is which product should I use? Where to find just what to sell and how to find it. Here we'll learn the ins and outs of product sourcing and getting the best prices for your product. So when you open that thing up, you got a ton of videos in there. Okay, introduction to product sourcing, getting product ideas. There's so many different products. Where do I start? See how we look for product ideas and decide if they deserve more research. Creating an Alibaba account that gets results. You know, say on that one, I saw that right away. I thought, what? Now, how do you do that? Your Alibaba account will make or break your sourcing efforts. Your profile matters. Learn what is important to Alibaba sellers to get the best and most quotes. Now, would you ever thought of that? That besides just opening up an account, putting your information in, that there might be some actual stratagem behind how you set your Alibaba account up. It might give you an extra edge. And I asked Mike about that. And he said, "Oh, absolutely." And so we go in here. I don't know if it'll play, but we'll see. I don't know if you guys are hearing this. I'm playing it. So anyway, just in case this is not playing, it's playing, but you may not be able to hear it. Anyway, that's the intro to the Alibaba, creating the account, navigating Alibaba, getting quotes, and then analyzing quotes. I think that's probably going to be powerful. Types of product sourcing, niche first product sourcing. So do you go for a niche or you just go for individual products? Start here and see the difference. And we talked about that in the interview on Tuesday. Whether you should go with a niche and start and brand around this, like grill items, or where you just go, okay, I'm gonna sell a beer bottle holder over here, and I'm gonna sell a soap dish over here, and who cares what it is? I'm just gonna sell all kind of stuff. You can do both, but if you do one, there's a strategy for it. If you do the other, it's a different positioning. Lead item product sourcing. Okay. Find the first item to catapult your profits. Feed the beast with the perfect lead item. This is what will finance your business and growth. Foundation product sourcing. Evergreen product sourcing. So there's a lot of this stuff that I bet you've never heard this before. How much stock should I buy? So, and by the way, guys, this right here on the left, it looks like a Monopoly board. That's where you go join the Facebook group and private Facebook group for the folks who have purchased this course. So let's back up to supply chain. Getting your bond and broker. Do you need a customs bond and broker? A customs bond is necessary for sea and air freight. A good customs broker is also necessary to guide you and save you a lot of money. Create a shipping plan, Amazon packing list, manage inventory storage limits, what to do and not to do when you run out of inventory. Do you guys know that there's a kind of a myth that if you start to run, you're going to run out of inventory, you're running low, you're waiting for your next shipment to come in, but you don't want to just run out and people come to your page, oh, there's no product available. So what do people do? They start raising their price and trying to raise their price to the point it slows sales down. And they actually get more money for the ones that they wind up selling, but they stay in stock. Well, according to Mike and according to a few others I've interviewed, that's the absolutely wrong thing to do, because now you're raising your price, but you may still be getting the same number of visits, but you're not getting as many purchases, so your conversion rate falls. So you just start getting penalized. Amazon realizes that sometimes you're going to run out of stock. So if you're selling, and you just run out, just let it run out. And when you get stocked back in, guess what? Sales will pick back up. Made in China. So anyway, that's the last module on supply chain. Let's go to let's start selling. I didn't realize you could do the drop down there and go to the next module. So keyword research, very important. Copywriting for listings, very important. Look what it says, all caps. Please watch this video from beginning to end. What was true for copywriting for listings several months ago is not true now, and Mike illustrates this. So, wow. What you learned in some other course 3 months ago, it may be null and void right now. Item type keywords, getting UPC codes, creating a flat file. That is something that a lot of people have no clue what it is or why, but just discover exactly what a flat file is and how you can use it to your advantage, and then how to upload a flat file listing. One of the guys that I interviewed, Michael Dudley, aka Helen Edward, is a master of flat file listing, and he has figured out a lot of little tricks that can lock in an advantage on your listing using flat files that other people wouldn't be able to copy or jump on your listing. On page listing creation, FN SKUs and barcodes. launching and ranking your product. You know what? He very seldom does he give away prizes. I might give away 3 to 10 products when I do a new launch, just to get a few reviews. He said, but I don't really care. I'm not going to give away 50 or 100 like all these other people do. Getting reviews, budgets and cash flow, selling on an existing listing, taking advantage of Amazon sales page with FBT. You know what that is? Wish list and bestsellers. FBT, frequently bought together. So he actually shows you how to go in and take that wish list and bestsellers and combine that to your advantage. Amazon sponsored ads, follow-up emails, prohibited seller activities and actions. He doesn't do anything black hat or gray hat. You do everything above board. Building a brand, title link, used products sold as new. Private label products are all brand new products shipped directly from the factory. When Amazon repackage unsellable customer, this can confuse the customers into thinking they might be a used product. Oh yeah, Amazon has a repackaging service now. So if somebody sends back, they return an item for some reason, but it's not broken and it's still in the pack, Amazon will automatically just repackage it and put it back in your inventory and resell it. So, but because it's been open, it might have a little bit of, damage to the package or something. It's possible that a customer looks at that and says, wow, that's not new, and returns it and then get dinged again. I guess I haven't gone through that video, but I imagine he probably talks about whether you should do it or not, or how to take advantage of it or not. Now, that's everything you need right there to get your business launched. Right there, if you did all that, you could start killing it and make money. However, there's phase 2, and I don't think it's ready to go because he says he's going to wait about 30 days to launch. So you don't want to drink from a fire hose. But phase 2, expand and automate, get suppliers to work for you. He's got some suppliers, he says, that log into his Amazon account, check his inventory, and if he needs to order, they order for him. I mean, he's got it automated where they check it for him. He don't have to do it. Scaling a niche with ancillary products, email list building, cross-promote marketing, streamline niches for profitability, non-disclosures and non-compete agreements, why you need a simple website, brand registry, and frustration-free packaging, niche market launching, time to hire staff or virtual assistants. One of the things that Mike wants to do is scale his business to a point where he's got a lot of free time, and he fishes all the time. He can say, I can go fishing anytime I want to because I'm the least important part of my business because I've got a bunch of people working with me and automated systems and software to do all the work. Create a workflow, most useful tools and apps, partnerships, social media marketing and branding for neuro-linguistic programming, trademark and patents, stale inventory control, investment strategy, why and when a relaunch might be a good idea. I mean, coaching and masterminds. Amazon is always changing, building funnels that convert and using paid traffic to scale your business. Scaling your products off of Amazon. And, everybody wants to do that too. They want to have a backup system. And he even said that if Amazon blew up on him, he's not, he's not dead in the water. He's got some other e-commerce things going. So you don't have all his eggs in one basket. Phase 3, the empire. He hadn't talked about this too much, but you can imagine that if you get these first 2 done, the phase 3 must be things like buying and selling businesses. And he actually has a philosophy on how to build your Amazon business specifically to sell. He says if you do it right, you can brand a business, scale it up, and from start to selling it be about 18 months. And about 18 months later, you can sell that business for somewhere between 4 to 8 times 4 to 8 times revenue. I'm not sure what the factor was, if it was on earnings or revenue or sales, but anyway, it's enough to make you want to say, like if I can do that 2 or 3 times, you can cash out every now and then. So that's what we got, guys. There's the co-ops. I'm not sure what's in there. Coupon promotion, warehouse services and FBA prep, copywriting and listing optimization, and shop with reviews. That's in there now. And so as more and more services come online and people share their services, those will show up here. And then you got Beyond Labs. In this section, we will post a new test results and remove old ones as needed. The main purpose of 2016 and beyond is to keep members informed of changes that happen in Amazon. By the way, did you know that this is a lifetime membership? That's why it's beyond. It's 2016 and beyond. You pay your $6.95 one time, and that's it. There's no upsells. You don't come back next year and have to pay a re-entry fee, or if he comes up with a new module or some new, he's not going to be asking for more money. He said that's not how it works. What works today may not work next week. We test various aspects of our business on a daily basis. Often these results give us insight into major changes and make huge differences in our business. We will keep you updated on all relevant information. I think that's cool as heck right there. And then the news and updates. Amazon Lightning deals and first live webinar. That was probably something he did. I hadn't looked at it yet. So for $695, which to me, it's a significant amount of money, but it's not nowhere near like these 5,000 or 1,200 or whatever you hear out there. You're getting a hookup with a dude that's got it going on, and he's got a lot of people who already have it going on. In fact, the people that paid the 5,000 to join his other course, he's offering all those students come over here and take this course for free because you already paid 5,000. He's not going to make them pay again. So a lot of those people, some of those people joined up, are joining that his old thing with his ex-partners, and they get in there and say, oh, Mike's not part of this. I thought Mike was part of this. If Mike's not part of it, I want my money back. But you know what? They're not giving the money back. They won't refund these people. So guess what Mike's over? Just come on over here and join mine for free. You paid 5,000. I can't help you on that, but you want the course, come over here. So there'll be some veterans that'll come in through that way, and there'll be some people that already are part of that other course that will come in here, and that'll give us, in other words, it's seated with people who are already successful, and then a bunch of us that are newbies joining up. We're all going to grow together, and we're going to be able to network on Facebook. And on top of that, they also do live events from time to time. So you get $6.95, you get the video course. You get the Facebook group to network with, which is private. They do live events from time to time, conferences. So we'll go to Florida and hang out and at a hotel and have a couple days of nothing but our people, his people, this, the 2016 and beyond crowd. And we're going to be talking about the latest, greatest things and networking. And then you can come and not come. It's up to you. And then on top of that, you get all the videos, and then you also get twice a month, you get a live Q&A call if you're part of this group, a part of 2016 and beyond with Mike, twice a month. I mean, that's almost too much if you ask me, but it's never too much when you get to talk to somebody like that and be able to ask them direct questions. And then you got the news and updates, and you got your co-op, which is a built-in buying service for products and services. And then the Beyond Labs, where they're coming out saying, hey, we tested this. Don't use 5 images anymore. Now you need to use 7, because that seems to be the best results that we're finding now. So we're always going to be on the cutting edge of what's going on, as long as Mike and his team and his partners, he's got partners in different aspects of his business, are doing their thing. And then you know what? Maybe you are creating the next update because you've discovered something that works or doesn't work, or you tweak it, and we roll it out to everybody. That's how we're going to benefit each other, is by being in this mastermind group, if you will. It's really what it becomes. And then on top of that, I twisted Mike's arm. I said, hey man, if I'm going to get behind this thing and bring our people to it and encourage them to join with me, can you do something special? Can you do like a monthly call with our group? And he said, yeah, I could do that, Jay. Yeah, I don't see why I couldn't do that. So he's going to be doing 3 calls a month, but one of those calls is just for our group. So right now, I think we had like 40 people have joined with me since, and this is Thursday night. So it's been 48 hours since we launched. and we've got 40 people who've come on board with us. So don't miss out, guys. I've had Robert Weisberg came on board. He's one of the guys I interviewed. He's a no nonsense. He's got a lot of outspoken opinion about, how people view Amazon as a business and how people make mistakes and how people make assumptions and the myths that people believe, and it frustrates him to see people making these mistakes. But as skeptical as that guy is, and he came on board, then I know it's the real deal, because I don't know if you watched the three preview videos that Mike did, the pre-launch videos, where he just said, hey, I'm going to show you how people buy products. I'm going to show you how a man buys a product, how a woman buys a product. And he started pulling out his neuro-linguistic programming, and how the influence and psychology of how a man thinks, how a woman thinks, and how it affects Amazon and your sales, because he sees it every day. I never even considered that. I just thought about writing a listing as a monolithic, okay, I need to find a customer, not necessarily whether they're a man or a woman. I mean, if your product could go either way, it's not a gender-based product, then maybe you need to have two different listings, and maybe in two different nodes to appeal to two different crowds. I don't know. So we're getting that extra bonus private. So if he has 300 people as part of the whole mastermind group, and we've got 40 or 50 of those people, guess what? We're going to have a much smaller Q&A call when we do ours. So that means you have a lot greater access to Mike. And by the way, Mike is not beyond going to he's not beyond getting on the phone with you. He says, I don't want people to fall through the cracks. If I hear about somebody that's not making it, or frustrated, or have hit a wall, I'm going to track them down on Skype, and we're going to get on there together, and I'm going to troubleshoot their business with them. I don't want anybody ever leaving our group saying they didn't become successful. And as far as they know, they haven't had anybody that hasn't had progress and success, except for one person, and they still hadn't given up on her. But for a while, she was kind of down in the mouth, and then Mike called her up and had a chat with her, and she got all excited again and got going again, because he helped her get over a few of the humps that she thought she couldn't get past. So with that, guys, I'm going to wrap this thing up. I just wanted to give you an inside view and what it looks like, so you had a real, you can see what we're getting into. $6.95. How long are you going to be in business? Are you going to be a flash in the pan? Are you going to start your private label business in Amazon and be here 3 years and you're gone, or 5 years and you're gone? Are you going to be around a decade or more? I mean, if you're going to be around a decade, guess what? That means that it costs you about $70 a year if you amortize $6.95 over 10 years. I mean, $69.50 a year. That's one good meal out with your wife, or your husband, or your partner, significant other. It's a one product that you purchase on Amazon Prime personally for yourself. It's chicken feed when you look at it over. I'm building myself an empire. I'm building myself a business that I can get out of the rat race. I can walk into my boss's office and sit down in a chair without him even giving me permission to sit down, and then put my feet up on his desk, and maybe even leave a little scuff mark with my shoe, and put my hands behind my head and lean back and say, boss man, I've got to let you know that I no longer need your services. I'm going to have to fire you. I'm leaving the company. That's the way you ought to quit, right? I don't need you anymore. I don't need your services anymore. I don't need your job. I'm on my own now. I started my part-time business, and now I'm making so much money and I have more free time. Your job is robbing me of my quality of life. That's the way you ought to be thinking about building your business. But don't do that till you built your business. Get it going. This is a business. I interviewed Chris Wilkie. Chris Wilkie is a big retail arbitrager. The guy has a full-time job as an engineer, 40 hours a week, and he loves it. That's why he doesn't do this other thing full-time. He's a retail arbitrager part-time, 20 hours a week, and makes $120,000 a year. Is that incredible? And he's just selling stuff that you get on sale, at clearance at Target or Walmart or whatever. And he has to keep sourcing all the time. All the time I have to go out and find stuff. But that's what he does for his 20 hours. He's buying stuff, taking it home, repackaging it, sending it in the FBA. But wouldn't you like to be able to do what Mike's doing and have your supplier log into your account, check your status of your products, and decide when to start manufacturing the next run to make sure it gets in there on time so that you don't ever run out of product? That would be sweet. And maybe I never get to that point. I may be too dependent on, I need to make sure that the quality is there, and there is some merit to that. But hey, if you want to grow this thing with me and all the folks that come in with me and the other folks that we're going to meet through Mike's network and this course, don't let a few dollars hold you back. You have roughly 70 something hours from the time I recorded this, 73 hours to make that happen. And so let me see if I can figure out how to stop sharing this thing. Okay, here we go. Okay, so look, I'm sitting here in my garage. You can see my car in the background. Somebody said, what's those? It looks like cocaine packages stacked up back there with tape around them, bales of cocaine. That's my garage door with my insulation that helps keep it cool in the summer and warm in the winter. So I'm just sitting here in my garage, right? You can build an empire out of your garage. The only reason I'm sitting in my garage is because we're trying to sell our house, and I didn't really, my wife wanted to stage the house. She don't want my old nasty desk full of paperwork in the house. So anyway, if you have any questions about the class and you want to know more, you got whatever, you can contact me through my email, Jake Robinson RVP, Radio Victor Papa, Jake Robinson RVP at Gmail, or respond to any of the emails you get from me. You got this video through an email. I'm about to, it's kind of weird because I'm about to send it out, but you already got it. I already told you that I'm sending it out, but you already know I sent it out because you're watching this video. Anyway, you can click on the link, and I think what you'll see, in fact, let me just do that right now. I'll go over here to, let's see. I'm gonna put in the, when you click on the link to take you to, all right, so I'm going to share the screen again and just show you this. Let's see, here we go. We're at Google. Okay. Okay, present to everyone. All right, so if you put in the link, and this is the link right there, and there'll be a link in the description below this video on YouTube. So we go here. Okay, here's what you're going to get. Okay, there's Mike. That's just, he's got 3 videos up here. The top mistake that sellers make, the second mistake sellers make, and it's the top 3 mistakes that sellers make. What am I thinking? But you can watch these if you want to, but if you're ready to go ahead and purchase, because remember, you got between now and Sunday night, October the 25th at midnight, when you click on this and haven't seen this. So anyway, you can click on that link, and I haven't even seen that video. I didn't go back and watch it, but there you get started today. Visa, MasterCard, PayPal. You can do it through PayPal or American Express. So you can knock that out. So that's a 25-minute video. I'm gonna go back and watch that because I haven't seen that yet. But I'm assuming those are two partners. I haven't met them yet. But that's how you get there. You click on the link. You click the little cart button, and that takes you over here, and then you can get into the course that way. Hey guys, I hope to see you on the other side. Hope to see you in the Facebook group. Hope to see you around. I'm going to keep doing interviews. That's not going to stop on Thursday nights, assuming I can. I'm hoping that just being in this group here will introduce me to a lot of other successful sellers, because I just want to keep finding successful private label sellers and bringing you the best information I can on Thursday nights. But hey, here's a shortcut. Come take it with me, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Hasta la vista. Talk to you guys later.